The news that the Biden administration is restarting U.S. funding to aid programs in Afghanistan will be greeted with relief by international groups that have been warning of an economic collapse and a humanitarian catastrophe in the wake of the Taliban's takeover of the country. The Wall Street Journal reported on Saturday that the U.S. decision will benefit organizations such as the UN's World Food Programme, WFP, World Health Organization, WHO, and International Organization for Migration, IOM, among other independent groups that work through representatives and local staff based in the war-torn country. According to an IOM estimate, up to 1.5 million could flee Afghanistan westward in search of safety and jobs in 2021. It is not just a fear of the cruelty and anachronistic morality of the Taliban that is causing Afghans to flee their homes. They are struggling with the economic fallout of the militants' rapid capture of the country, including the capital Kabul on August 15. We must not turn away. A far greater humanitarian crisis is just beginning, Filippo Grandi, the UN's High Commissioner for Refugees, said in a statement last week as the combined impact of runaway inflation, a plummeting currency, rising food prices and cash shortages forced hundreds of Afghans in Kabul to try to sell their meager possessions. At the beginning of 2021, the UN said that a third of Afghanistan's population was already facing food insecurity due to a second drought in 3 years. With very little functioning irrigation, Afghanistan relies on snow melting in its mountains to keep its rivers flowing and fields watered during the summer months. However, snowfall last winter was extremely low. Climate scientists believe that La Nina phenomenon and a weakening jet stream moving weather systems more slowly across the planet could be factors behind Afghanistan's dry weather. It is hard to talk of a single crisis in Afghanistan at the moment, Richard Trenchard, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, representative in Afghanistan, told Arab News. Multiple crises are affecting the people of Afghanistan. Separate, distinct ones that often intersect and reinforce one another. Nowhere is this more evident than in Afghanistan's rural areas. Millions of rural men, women, and children are seeing their livelihoods collapse, and if the situation cannot be turned around in the near future, it could get so much worse, triggering spikes in hunger, economic collapse and large-scale displacement. Food security in Afghanistan has been seriously compromised by an increase in prices over the past 5 years by 10 to 20% according to some estimates, primarily because of drought, COVID-19's impacts, steadily accelerating year-on-year inflation and seasonal changes. To compound the situation, average incomes have fallen for 75% of people, while personal debt has increased. According to assessments for the UN's OCHA, about 73% of households reported having debt, and 74% cited food as the main reason for borrowing. In February, the now-deposed Afghan government predicted the country's wheat crop would drop by nearly 2 million tons in 2021, and that more than 3 million livestock were in danger of dying due to a lack of fodder and water. Added to this are the continuing effects of COVID-19, in particular in terms of reduced remittances from abroad, growing market constraints, reduced purchasing power, and displacement and access issues resulting from recent conflicts, and now, we are seeing a growing cash crisis across the country, Trenchard said. All of these are putting enormous pressures on millions of rural livelihoods. If these livelihoods cannot be protected and strengthened, then I fear further disaster looms in the coming months. We all know this, and we need to act soon. Now. The winter wheat planting season begins very soon, at the end of September. Seeds cannot wait. Farmers cannot wait. FAO aims to assist 250,000 vulnerable farming families, some 1.5 million people, for the upcoming winter wheat season.